Advanced Tower Chemists, this one is for you. Let's look at some research in chemistry and look at chemical analysis methods. When it comes to chemical analysis, we have two types. We have qualitative, that tells us what is in our sample, and we can also have quantitative, which tells us how much of something is in our sample. Analytical methods we can use to identify what we've got in a sample are things like this. We've got thin layer chromatography, TLC, where you spot it on a TLC plate and connect up the dots. You've got gas chromatography and high performance liquid tomography, where you get all the peaks that appear, and each peak is for a different substance. We've got mixed melting point analysis, melting point testing can tell you what you have, because every different substance should have a different melting point. Atomic emission spectroscopy can identify what elements you have or what types of atoms you have. Then we've got chemical tests that we've learned over the years, like testing with Feeling solution to see if it's an aldehyde or a ketone, testing with bromine solution to see if the substance is unsaturated. Then we've got the ones you've learned about this year, like hydrogen NMR, infrared spectroscopy, and mass spectroscopy. For hydrogen NMR, that can tell you about the hydrogen environments that are in your compound. For infrared spectroscopy, that's normally to help identify functional groups, and mass spectroscopy is helpful when you're trying to work out the mass of your compound or identify different fragments. For methods of quantitative analysis, where we work out how much of something we've got our titrations, and we've got 4 different types of titrations: acid-base, redox, back titrations, and complexometric titrations. Each titration is used depending on the reaction that you need to use to identify how much of the substance you have. For back titrations, we normally use them if the substance we're trying to analyse is insoluble in water or there's no suitable indicator, and complexometric titrations tend to be used for analysing the concentration of metal ions. Then in terms of chromatography, gas chromatography and liquid chromatography can be also used to work out what we have, but also how much of that substance we have. Just remember the height of the peak is proportional to the concentration. Then we've got colorimetry, that can be used for any coloured solution, and it can tell us how much of the coloured substance we've got because absorbance is proportional to concentration. Then atomic emission spectroscopy, which we had in our qualitative side, can also be used quantitatively because the intensity of the emission is proportional to the concentration of the element. And then we also have gravimetric analysis. So gravimetric analysis is usually the analysis where we're weighing solid masses of things. So this usually involves determining the concentration of something via a precipitation reaction. So we make a precipitate and weigh how much precipitate we've made. But it can also be used to determine how hydrated a substance is by heating it to a constant mass and by